Learning to skate is like learning a new language. And in this language, the foot positions are the words, the grinds are the sentences. If you know all the grinds, it's like writing a story. But if you can do switch-ups, it's like writing poetry. And that's what we're going to do today. Before you start this video, I hope you've watched all the other videos in this series. My name is Ivo. I'm the owner of This Is All Skate Shop, and we're doing a series about aggressive inline skating. We did one about skating low to the ground. We did one about all the different foot positions in your grinds. We did one about pushing in a half pipe. We did one about balance on the rails. And we did one about thinking like a skater. Watch all of those, because without those pieces of the puzzle, you cannot make this beautiful art piece that we're going to do today. We're going to learn switch-ups, and switch-ups is when you switch up the foot position within a grind from one position to another. It's not the same as switch. Switch is when you grind normally. Switch is when you normally grind on your right foot like this, but then you do it in your unnatural way with your left foot like this. Definitely not the same, but a little bit confusing in the term. So today we're going to do switch-ups. That's multiple foot positions. We're going to focus on just 2 foot positions, which is more than enough to start with. But later on you can do as many as you want. You can start with 1 foot position, then jump to another, and then jump to another one, all within the same grind. There are about 3 tips that are the broad tips that I want to give you when we're going to do switch-ups. And we're going to do a lot of exercises, and all these 3 tips are going to come back while doing these exercises. The first tip is that switch-ups are like a dance where you go up and down. And if you don't do this, if you're like static in your grind, then it's really hard to do the switch up. So the right way to do this dance is you land a trick, you get down, then you get up, and then you get down again. So here you see me doing this, and actually the center mass of your body is going up and down. The second tip is that for a lot of the switch ups, your arm and shoulder positions are crucial. So if you want to go from 1 foot position to another, your hands need to come first. Because if your hands are not there, then it's really hard to do the switch up. So first hands, and then the foot. And then the third thing that you need to be conscious of is that with a lot of switch ups, there's a weight shift. Now I'm on my right foot, and now I'm going to be on my left foot. So you need to be comfortable with that as well. All right. All these things you should practice first while stalling. Stalling is when you emulate or simulate a grind, but you do it without movement. So you can do it, of course, first by stepping on the grind, because the jumping on part is not the most crucial thing. And then later you can jump on it and then do the entire switch up. Really think when you're stalling as if you're doing the grind. This is coming back in the Think Like a Skater episode that we did, because a big part of doing the switch ups is the mental projection of the trick. And you need to kind of like start a recording when you do your stall. So now I'm gonna pretend I'm grinding and then jump to a different position. And I'm gonna record everything my body is doing. Hands first and then foot. Okay, it wasn't perfect because I was missing the balance part after my royale. Like this, hands first and then balance. Okay. That was a perfect recording, and then now I can try it while grinding. So this is a really important part to record the stall and then mentally project it while you're doing the actual grind. All right, there are different categories of switch-ups, and we're gonna start with the easiest one. This one is so easy that it's actually illegal. There's a skate police, and they're gonna arrest you if you ever do this trick in the skate park. These are tricks where you just move 1 foot like this, like salt to acid. It's a little bit too easy or something to really do it. But you right now have a free pass, like a get out of jail free pass, to try these tricks because you're still a beginner. When you're learning switch up, I think it's okay. That's the only exception to try these tricks that we're gonna do now. Then I'm just gonna summarize what all the segments are. Then the next segment is where you do 2 foot positions, like sole to backside unity. Switch shift 2 foot positions. And then the third category is where you kind of like actually make a 180. This sole to back royale. Oop. And then of course you can do all the combinations that there are with that. Then there's a category that's called budgets. These are the same, where you like keep one foot on the rail, just like we're gonna practice now in the beginning, but you're actually crossing over something. So this makes it not illegal anymore. So for example, this royale to LU porn star. And then there's this last category that we're gonna touch on. And I don't know the name for it, but it goes like this, where you start off in, for example, a backslide, and then you move your foot without lifting it towards the machio here. And you can do all sorts of combinations. For example, this full torque to top sole. I love combinations like that. They're not really budget tricks. There's something in between. There's no actual name for it, but I think these are one of the most difficult switch up there is, so that's what we're gonna do last. All right, so in the beginning, just one foot position changing. The easiest one obviously are like sole to acid, and then you can also do miss you to porn star, or of course porn stars to miss you. Let me show you. Boom! Nice! Feels good because it's so easy. Then these are like the sole switch ups, but you can also do sole to front side. So I'll show you that one. Whoa! I thought it was easy. All right, so I just fell. And what did I do wrong? First, I thought it was too easy, and it was actually harder. And my hands in the sole were still in front of me. So in the second try, I did my hands next to me, because this was actually a 90-degree change in direction. We have a video just about like the foot positions, and there I tell you all the different metrics there are to each foot position. So the sole, it's like 90% of your weight's on your back foot, and it's a forward grind, and then the front side is a sideways grind. So I needed to rotate my upper body, and it's best to do that while you're still in the grind, and then you only need to correct your foot. So on the second try, I did that. So be careful for this mistake. And this is also one of the focus points that you should do while doing these switch ups. One other thing that I didn't show you in this example is the rhythm of the dance. So I'm gonna try the switch ups again and have more rhythm in it, so that you can also understand what you need to practice when you're doing this. Because these switch ups are supposed to be really easy, so you have to pretend that they're hard and do the technique properly, so that you then can move on to the more difficult ones. Okay, that was the rhythm. So practice all these techniques with the rhythm, and if there's a rotation, do your arms first. All these sole switch ups like this, sole to acid and miss you to porn star, you can also do as topside variations, of course, like a topside porn star to a sweat stance, or a topside acid to a topside. And you can do it forward, and you can do it backwards, and you can do it switch and natural. So it's best to try them all. All right, so when you finish with the easy ones, with just the 1 foot shifting of the switch ups, we can move on to the next one. You can start just by stepping on, for example, to a porn star, and then back royale. Here we're changing both foot positions, so these are like the first real switch ups. And there's a couple of really easy ones. It's porn star to back royale, then you have acid to frontside royale. Of course, you can also do, if that's easier for you, you can do frontside full torque, or just like a regular frontside. It's probably the easiest one, but any frontside here will do, just with the porn star to back royale. Any backside will do. And then one other easy one is sole to backside unity. That's this one. It's also super easy. Of course, you have to be able to do all those foot positions already. Like if you cannot backside unity, you cannot do the switch up. So you have to really be solid with all the normal grinds, but especially the royales. If you can do royales, everything will be so much easier. I think it's probably best if you practice that before you move on to switch ups. It's even so much so that royales are important in switch ups, that there are these like royale variations That's why, for example, you have sol and you have soyal. And it's called soyal because you have your front foot in a royale position. It maybe should have been called like machio torque or something, depending on what direction, or machio backslide. But yeah, it's called soyal. And then there's this mistrial, because you have mishu with the foot here, and then mistrial with the foot there. And all these variations where you are in a mistrial position instead of like a mishu position with the one of the foot in an angle, these have like a 50-50 weight distribution, and they're just easier to switch up because the weight shift is going to be a big part of your switch up skill set. And if you move from like a 50-50 wheel position to another 50-50 wheel position, it just becomes really easy. If you want to do like soyal to switch soyal, or it's going to be like torque sol to switch soyal, your weight basically stays in the center. But if you're going to do sol to alley-oop switch sol, you need to really switch foot position, so it's a lot harder. To summarize, royales are important. These are going to be your first real switch ups. Practice it stalling first. You can step up, then jump. Try not to have wheel bite in your switch ups. That's when the wheel touches the deck. And try to press record when you do it. So to really record the movement and pretend in your mind that you're actually doing the grind. If you do your run up, you're gonna try to reimagine your recording and reimagine the feeling, what it is to grind. Part of that feeling is, of course, the dance. All right. So there's a lot of things, but they're all supposed to come together now. Let's see if I can do it and show you a good example. I'm gonna try exit to front side. Perfect. I think it was really good, but there was one flaw, and that I jumped my royale off too soon. And as you could have seen in our previous episode on balancing on rails, the nice thing is what you want is to land the grind in the same line as the rail is. If you're jumping off too much away from the rail like this, then it's not perfect. Next grind is porn star to back royale. Okay, so I couldn't do it. I didn't do it. And if I analyze what I did wrong, it was my hands. Because I was standing in a perfect porn star position, but you cannot switch up to, well, you can if you're really good, but I'm not really good, okay? So I need to have my hands here first, and then I can do the back royale. So what I'll do now is I'll do a little recording. Again, I'll rewrite the tape of what I want. So in my run up, I already need to start the rotation, and then I have it, yeah. Second try, porn star to back royale. Can have my hands ready. Yeah, okay, that was it. Now I just have the balance. And you see that the hands trick worked. Okay, porn star to back royale, my hands ready. Up, up, boom. Okay, there you see how important those hands are. All right, next trick is sol to backside unity. And for this, I know my hands are gonna be super important, because if you're in a sol and your hands are here, you cannot just switch up to a backside unity where your hands needs to be here. And first you move your hands and then you move your feet. Okay, sol, hands, foot. All right, now I need to record it. Sol, hands, foot. Okay, boom, let's try. Hey, nailed it. Dankjewel. Boom. These are a couple of the first like real switch ups, but the foot here are still in the same spot, and you just move them like 90 degrees or something. So there's a lot of different combinations, like exit to front side, or porn star to front side, or what is it? Porn star to back side actually. But there's also switch up combinations where you really move foot position. One of those is sol to backside. I would like to do backside royale then, but if you want to do full torque or just a normal backside, it's the same thing. And with this one, you switch foot positions. So this is the next category of switch ups. With this one, again, because you're always rotating with these, the hands are going to be super important. If your hands are not there, you're not going to be able to do the switch up. Let's see if I can do a sole to backside royale. Oh, oh. I was not ready. Balance. Hoppa! Nailed it. So there's a ton of different variations here. With this, creativity also comes into play now. Because if you reach this level, there's just so many different things that you can do. This was just an example. Now you just have to like think and mentally visualize all these switch ups whenever you're like in the tram or in the train or maybe on the bike or just random moments in your life. You're gonna visualize all these switch ups, play around with it, and then when you're in the skate park, you're gonna do it. So this is also another fun aspect. All right, we're gonna move on to the next aspect. There's a couple of tricks that are kind of like inevitable, and that's what we did today. So if you're gonna do switch ups, you're probably gonna do like a sole to backside royale like I just did, and there's a couple of others like that you're gonna probably hit on. And these are gonna be the same everywhere you go, but every little pocket, every little region of aggressive skaters has their own little tricks. And budget tricks are one of those tricks that you're not gonna really see everywhere. And budget tricks are the tricks that you keep one foot on the obstacle and the other one you change. But instead of just changing it on the spot, like the illegal ones we did in the beginning of the video, you're gonna cross over or you're gonna do something with that other foot to make it really complicated. So one of my favorites is a royale to porn star. I'll show you how it goes. So you royale like this, and then you do this to porn star like that. This was a two-footed one that I just showed you, but you can also do it in a one-footed combination. That's where you do just a backslide to porn star. You can also do to acid. So that would be like a back royale like this to an acid position like this. The same thing goes for unities. So you can do like a full torque to back savannah. And one of my favorites is if you do a unity like this and then sweep it around all the way to back savannah. That's the unity to savannah one, which is really complicated. And then the furthest you can go is like from a porn star to an acid. And then one of those is gonna be top. I'm gonna do a topside porn star like this, and then I'm gonna swing it around all the way to an acid like that. Of course you can do it the other way around and then do like this to a porn star, or you can do a normal porn star and then swinging it around to a top acid, and you can do that one back again. So there's 4 different combinations like that, and you can do it forwards and backwards. So that's eight different combinations of these. These are really, really high level. Drop it in comments if you can do all 8. I don't think a lot of people can do it, but you should just start off with the simplest one. And I think the simplest one is either the back royale to acid, or a back royale to backside unity, or the front side royale to porn star. So these are the budgets. So it's actually called front side royale to budget porn star. That's the way you pronounce the tricks. Let's see if I can do the royale to porn star. Of course, all the same tips that we talked about in the beginning are still true. You need to do the dance. You need to have your hands ready. And for this category of the budgets, I would say that the longer you can grind on that one foot, the more beautiful it looks. One of my favorite combinations is actually, I used to be able to do all this. I cannot anymore because I'm old. The back torque, like this, and then slowly move it to a back savannah. Ah, that one looks so dope. So the focus should be to postpone it and to do it as slow as possible. While normal switch up, they go really, really fast. Let's see if I still got the royale to porn star. Oh, first try! Yeah. Alright, thank you, thank you. Alright, so that's that category. Now let's move on to the next category. For this I'm gonna take my skate off. This is a category of tricks, of switch up tricks. And it doesn't have a name, so I don't know how to call this. If you know a cool name for this, drop it in the comments. Because I'm really still searching. This is where you do a switch up. Again, just like a budget trick, you want to do it as slowly as possible. While normal switch ups are fast, and normal switch up you jump a little bit. But with this new category, the last switch up category that we're gonna do, you try to do it as slowly as possible. And you're not jumping, but you're keeping contact. And for example, we're gonna do a frontside torque and then keep contact, keep contact, keep contact, and then do a fishbone. Another one would be a backslide like this, and then you keep contact. Actually, it's nice if you just like keep pressure on it. The better it looks, the more pressure you have on it, the better it looks. And then you switch it to a true Machio. So all these combinations that you can do to like rotate like this, all these combinations, this is a switch up category as well. And again, this is a regional thing. So maybe if you go to Amsterdam, people do this a lot. If you go to Berlin, people do something else a lot. And then if you go to Antwerp, you'll see different tricks. Every region has its own tricks, but each of these 3 cities that I just mentioned have a This Is Soul shop. So if you want to get some good skates, I would go to one of our shops in one of these 3 cities, or if you can order it online on thisissoul.com. That's also cool, of course. We have buyer's guides and we have videos just like this explaining all the little details about the hardware as well, if you want to dive deeper into the hardware. One of the videos that we have is about different frames, and the frame matters a lot if you're gonna dive into these tricks here, because like right now, if I rotate my skate, you can see that my wheel just about doesn't touch here. It doesn't touch. But with some other setups, your wheel will hit here, and then these tricks will be a lot harder. So your setup really matters. You see now my wheel is not touching, and then I'm into the Machio already. So this is an ideal setup for switch ups like this. So each frame and each sole plate combination works different with grind tricks like this. We have videos about this on our channel as well. Check out the Everything About Grooves video and the Aggressive Inline Skate Frame Buyer's Guide if you want to dive deeper into that. The first switch up like this that you can learn, I think, depending of course how comfortable you are with different tricks, but it's always like a Royale to a sole combination, I think. And the easiest one for me at least is the backside full torque. They do a backside full torque and then a forward sole grind. On the coping box, I'm a little bit afraid to do top sides. All the switch ups that we did in the earlier categories as well, you can all do them top side, switch, fakie, just like a backwards grind. I didn't really emphasize that enough, but even like all the acid to sole combinations, like in the beginning, you can do that also like backwards, or you can do it switch. And but in general on a coping box, if I do a topside, I'll just fall really hard. If I fall, if I do it, it's no problem, of course. But in the half pipe, I can catch myself better if I fall, because then I'll just slide down the transition. So in the half pipe, I'll do a Royale to alley-oop topsole or a full torque to topsole with this technique, where I'll just hold the grind on my foot and don't jump, but just slide into it. But on the coping box, I won't. If you want to try topsoles, I would advise you to do it in the half pipe. You can of course also do it on the coping box or on a rail. There's so many different combinations. I would advise you to try the backside full torque to sole one first. And I also like backside Royale to true spin sole a lot. So I'm going to show you these two, and then you can use your imagination for the rest. Okay, so I'm going to do a backside full torque to a sole grind. And the thing that you should pay attention to if you're gonna practice this switch up category is that, of course, you need to keep your weight on this foot while you rotate it. But if you're just gonna rotate your foot, you're gonna rotate off of the obstacle. This is gonna be your main hurdle. And this happens if you anchor your rotation point in the middle of your foot. If you try to rotate over this axle, you're gonna rotate off. But try to rotate over your heel, and then you're gonna rotate on it. Because actually your heel kind of like stays in the same place, but it's only your toes lifting up. So when you're stalling this is what you should pay attention to, is that you rotate over your heel, if that makes any sense to you. But it will, once you practice it, you'll know exactly what I mean. So let's stall it. I'll press record. Boom. Okay, of course I need to dance a little bit. Up, up. Okay, looks easy. Up. Whoa. And then now back royale to terugsprintsel. Oh. Okay. All right. Was definitely not perfect, but this is a little bit the edge of my skill set right now. If I want to improve, I need to focus more on my dance, get more muscle strength, because I'm not skating enough, it seems. I want to be able to do squats on one foot, like these pistol squats, be able to do that while grinding, so that I can really do my dance a lot better. But in the end, it's just about repetition, 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 repetition. So good luck with practicing everything. I'm gonna do a couple more videos in this series. Next stop is spinning into a grind. So that's gonna be the next video. I'm gonna do wall rides. And again, if you wanna learn more about aggressive skating, follow the channel, but we also have other skating things on our channel, like hardware and like regular skating lessons for more basic stuff. So if you want to learn more, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.